The Broward County Office of Economic and Small Business Development, or OESBD for short, welcomes you to the Completing Your Local Certification Application webinar. This webinar will provide step-by-step instructions on how to complete the combined certification application for Broward County's two small business programs, County Business Enterprise, or CBE, and Small Business Enterprise, or SBE. You will also receive useful tips and recommendations to help you submit a complete application in order to minimize application processing time. Now, let's get started. Our goal is to help our local small businesses navigate our certification process in order to gain access to business opportunities with Broward County. But first, there are some requirements and other details to consider. You must be a registered Broward County vendor before applying for certification. To register, visit bidsync.com. Also, please note that at this time, only for-profit firms are eligible for CBE and SBE certification. If your firm is a nonprofit entity, do not complete this application. However, if you are a nonprofit organization, you can contact our office and we can explore other opportunities that may be available to you. At this point, we have determined that your firm is a for-profit firm registered with Broward County. Now it's time to determine if your firm meets the requirements for SBE and CBE certification. Both certifications require you to consider your firm's location, your firm's annual gross receipts, and the personal net worth of your firm's owners. If you are not certain your firm meets the certification requirements, please visit our website at broward.org/econdev and click the Get Certified tab on the left. There you will find the link to the local certification requirements page, as well as the combined certification application. When completing your application, here are a few items to keep in mind. All questions must be answered and all requested documents must be submitted. Incomplete applications or applications submitted without the requested documentation will be returned. If a question does not apply to your firm, please write NA in the space provided. The county recognizes that you may not have all the documentation we request. If that is the case, please submit a letter with your documentation stating which documents do not exist and why. Tip: there is a difference between a document that does not exist for valid reasons and a document that does not exist but should exist and is required. For example, the checklist asks for professional licenses. If the services provided by your firm do not require a professional license, then this is an acceptable reason why the document does not exist. Here is an example of an unacceptable reason. A firm filed its taxes in 2013 and 2015 but did not for 2014. The owner thought he did not have to file since there was no revenue. Even if a business does not make money or incurs a loss, it is still required to file a tax return for that year. Therefore, writing NA for the 2014 tax return would not be appropriate. If the IRS requires it, so do we. Also note that a document may be requested from you that does not appear on the included checklist. This request may be necessary if, after the initial review of your application, there is further documentation needed to answer a question about the firm's operations. Now that we have gotten that out of the way, let's begin the application process. The application starts with general information about your business, such as legal business name, along with previous names and aliases and lists of all owners. Tip: if you have multiple locations, please use your Broward County business telephone number and address. P.O. boxes or other commercial mail service locations, such as a UPS store, cannot be used as a viable business address. You may list a mailing address at one of those facilities, but that address cannot be used as the principal place of business. Next, you will select the appropriate business structure of your company. This will include your business type and origin, which is how the business was acquired by the applicant owners listed in Part A and its start date. This cannot be left blank. Part C will require you to indicate the number of full-time and part-time employees, including the owners. Tip: this should include all owners. In Part D, you will list the names and addresses of all branch offices, subsidiaries, and affiliates for your firm. Next, you will select the type of business activity or industry that best describes your firm's specialty. If you are not in the business of construction, architecture, engineering, or commodity supply, then mark Business Contract Services, which covers all other scopes of work. Section F is a very important part of your application. This is where you will describe the products and services your firm provides by using the North American Industry Classification System, or NAICS codes. These codes are used to describe the products or services your firm provides. Is your business very specialized, like roofing services, or is its scope of services broad, like construction and repair? NAICS codes help you define just that. Not sure where to find the NAICS codes for your business? Visit NAICS.com and select NAICS Identification Tools and enter keywords into the search bar. Tip for commodity suppliers. Keep in mind you must show inventory and proof of ongoing business activity for any selected codes. Now that you have your NAICS codes filled in, describe the goods and/or services you offer. Remember to be specific. The next section covers business ownership. It is important that you do not leave any parts of this section blank. A. First, you must list the personal net worth of all applicants and their ownership percentage in the business. Be sure to include a personal net worth worksheet for each owner listed. The worksheet can be found at the end of the application packet. You will need to complete the worksheet before you can complete this section. Personal net worth does not include the value of the business or the equity in the owner's primary residence. Personal net worth should also not include life insurance policies that do not have a cash value. If you cannot take out a loan against the policy, it has no cash value. B. Then indicate any changes in ownership or owner interest that have occurred. If change has occurred, provide the date in the space given. If no change has occurred, please put NA in the space provided. As previously mentioned, this section of the application cannot be left blank. C. In Part C, provide the total cost for starting or acquiring the business. Include cash, equipment, real estate, or other consideration transferred to the business. D. Next, list any additional capital contributions of cash, equipment, etc. made by anyone since the business originated or was acquired. E. In Part E, list the name and title of each person who is a board member. If the firm is a sole proprietorship or partnership and has no board, please indicate NA in the space provided. Section 3 focuses on the financial side of your business. A. In Part A, provide the names of the banks, credit unions, or other financial institutions where you have business accounts and identify the type of accounts. B. Next, list the exact gross earnings of the company for the previous 3 years. This amount should match the gross earnings listed on the business tax returns for the firm. Then provide the name and contact number of the firm's bonding agent and current bonding capacity. D. In Part D, list the 3 largest contracts or sales completed by the firm during the last 3 years. Include each customer or contact name, company, or organization, the dollar amount of each contract or sale, and the date completed. Tip: if any are subcontracts, be sure to indicate the contract as such and provide the name of the prime contractor. If your firm does not have contracts but is a service provider on a pay-to-perform basis, invoice numbers or purchase orders are sufficient. This section involves roles and responsibilities. A. In Part A, list the name and titles of the individuals responsible for the listed items. B. Then list the salaries or other compensation received by the owners and/or officers of the firm. Include anyone listed in Section 2, Part A above. C. For Part C, if anyone in authority in your firm holds stock in another firm engaged in the same or similar business as your firm, respond yes to this question. D. For Part D, if anyone in authority in your firm is a former owner, current owner, or works for another firm engaged in the same or similar type of business as your firm, respond yes to this question. E. For Part E, if you answered yes to Part C and/or Part D above, provide the name of each individual along with the name of the other firm or firms, the individual's ownership percentage, and the position held in the other firm. F. Businesses are considered affiliates of each other when they share common ownership, management, facilities, or contractual relations. If the firm is an affiliate or has affiliates under that definition, provide information regarding the common ownership, management, and contractual relationships between the firms. For example, the firm's owner works as project manager for ABC Construction. This is considered an affiliation. If an owner is also part owner of another company, those two firms are affiliated. The firm has an office in another firm's location and uses that firm's secretary, fax machine, etc. This is also an affiliation. Section 5 deals with site locations. A. Part A lists all locations your firm uses to conduct business. This includes principal and regional offices and warehouse space. Indicate if the location is a residence or a commercial facility, and if any facilities utilized by your firm are shared. B. If any facility is shared, provide information on the firm sharing space. C. Then, verify if your firm is open during regular business hours. If not, please indicate hours of operation. Your firm must have a continuous operating presence in Broward County, and this location must include full-time employees sufficient enough to perform contracted work with the county. This section focuses on licenses and certification. A. List any relevant licenses, certificates of training, and degrees held by the corporation or its owners and employees. Attach licenses, receipts, and certificates to the completed application. List all the federal, state, county, or city licenses and permits held by your firm to legally conduct business, legally operate a business in Florida, and the jurisdiction where the firm is located. Included are city and county business tax receipts, professional licenses, certificates of competency, etc. Submit copies of all current licenses, permits, and/or pending applications. Section 7 is for companies that use heavy equipment. A. If your firm is involved in construction, demolition, trucking, fleet management, or other business where significant capital is tied up in vehicles or heavy equipment, complete the chart. If not, you should indicate NA and proceed to Section 8. Complete the chart. This section deals with businesses currently certified with any other governmental agencies, federal, state, county, or city anywhere in the United States. A. In Part A, provide the name of the agency or agencies, the type of certifications, and the date the certifications will expire. Also, include all attempts to attain certification by anyone affiliated with the business. B. Explain any instances of decertification or removal of participation from government certification programs. C. Then, explain any suspensions or debarments from government contracting that may be applicable to your firm or firms associated with your firm's owners, officers, directors, or senior managers. Broward County's small business programs are race and gender neutral. To assist the county in tracking outcomes for our certified firms, we collect information that best describes the ethnicity and/or gender of the firm's primary owners. You are now nearly done with the application. Next is the affidavit. Don't forget to sign and date the form. The affidavit is an important part of the application. Complete the accompanying affidavit for each owner. The affidavit must be signed and notarized. The Personal Net Worth Worksheet helps staff determine your eligibility for certification. Complete and submit one worksheet for each owner. Make sure the figures noted on the worksheet correspond with the information you provided in Section 2. The documents that accompany your application are vital. The supporting documents checklist is a useful tool for applicants to ensure all necessary items are included. This concludes the Completing Your Local Certification application, a webinar presented by the Broward County Office of Economic and Small Business Development. A great deal of information was covered over the course of this webinar. If you still have questions or need further clarification, please call us at 954-357-6400, email us at sbcert@broward.org, or visit our website at broward.org/econdev. We invite you to connect with us as we engage, educate, and empower our local business community. Remember, supporting your growth is our day job. Thank you for your interest in our programs and services.